Wagwan people, it's your boy Mo, and I had the chance to chop it up with the sharp shooting three-point marksman Duncan Robinson before Game 5 of the NBA Finals. We talked about the keys that the Heat need to focus on to get that dub, to see if they could. And we also talked about his career into the NBA, his journey, what it took for him to go from an unheard of prospect into one of the best shooters that we have in the league today. So make sure that you tune in to Sky Sports for all of your NBA coverage, because myself, my boy JD, and of course, three-time NBA champion BJ Armstrong are there to break down all of the action. Please subscribe to this channel while you watch the interview. It would be a huge help to me, but most importantly, get buckets. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, man. I'm great. I'm just, for me, I'm excited to see you guys play out the next game. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm sure you're feeling, the same in terms of excitement. Is it excitement? Is it nerves? How are you feeling right now ahead of what is going to be a crucial Game 5?
We're excited for the challenge. Obviously we're playing a really good team, but we feel like we're capable. So, at this point, desperation is fully on. Backs are against the wall. It's obviously a must win for us. So we feel like that's when we can be at our best. So we're excited for the challenge.
I feel like you are a team who thrives when they're the underdog and when people have counted them out. And we saw that, when you guys were down 2-0, the way you guys came out in that Game 3 to take the dub. What was it and who was it that really gave the team talk before? Because, there's Coach Spo, but also there's UD, there's Jimmy, who's a big influence on you guys as well. What was said before that Game 3 that had you guys coming out swinging in the way that you did?
We talk about it a lot. We talk about, leadership at all levels. And, before that game and really this entire playoff run, we've had leadership in a variety of different ways. Obviously, the way Jimmy came out, just from a playing standpoint, just the aggression that he played with, the will to win was inspiring. But you mentioned it, we have guys like UD who've won championships and know what it takes. So to have a guy like that always in your ear, breathing life into guys and just instilling confidence, that's a huge advantage for us. So it comes from all different areas. Obviously, we didn't have Bam for that one, but Bam's a huge piece in terms of leadership as well.
We've seen that, Coach Spo in particular was reported to be encouraging you to shoot the ball. I know you didn't get off to the best start in the world in this series, but you have improved as the series has progressed. Your numbers have gone up and up and up. What's been the adjustments that you've had to make, and have the Lakers, because now it's the finals, the defenses and the scouting reports are more focused on you and what you're capable of doing. What have you had to adjust in your game as the series has progressed?
Just continue to be more and more aggressive and persistent, understanding that they're going to have maybe first and second options scouted and tendencies and all that sort of stuff, but just continuing to get to my spots, finding a way and being creative in doing so, mixing it up. We talk a lot the routes that I run to get shots, but being creative in those routes, stopping and starting, doing stuff like that, and just continue to be persistent.
Watching you guys play throughout the year, I noticed one of the most frequent actions that your offense runs is the dribble handoff with Bam Adebayo. Can you speak a little on how much of an impact that makes for shooters such as yourself?
And Bam's huge for us on both sides of the ball. Obviously, defensively, his versatility, he's really the anchor of our defense. And then offensively, he has great versatility as well. A lot of people think versatility is just maybe the ability to shoot threes. And he doesn't do that yet. He's capable, but he doesn't do that. But he does so much for us. He handles the ball. He creates. He draws attention on his rolls and dives to the basket. So it's a luxury playing with a big man who's so unselfish and willing to get other people involved.
What are some of the adjustments that you're looking to make heading into the next one, knowing that this is, win or go home?
Yeah, there are some tactical adjustments here and there with schemes that we've talked about, but really the biggest thing is just come out with a focus on having a heightened sense of urgency, embracing the competition, understanding what this game is, and understanding that obviously our backs are against the wall.
I'm wishing you guys the best of luck for tomorrow, but I do think it is an amazing achievement that yourselves, the 5th seed, won the Eastern Conference and have got to this NBA Finals, especially with, a group of guys who a lot of people wouldn't have expected to be here when the season started. Yourself, coming from the G League last season and having a few games in the NBA. And then this season, you've really stepped up a level, one of the most improved players in the league this season. What was the difference for you over the offseason? It was reported that you added 15 pounds of muscle over the last summer, which seems like a lifetime ago now. But what were you really trying to do to make sure that you establish yourself on this Miami Heat team?
Just showing up every day and working. Get, like you said, get my body right, sharpening my skills, and just trying to prove every day in and day out that I'm capable of helping this team win. And it's an everyday thing. That was really my mindset. I spent pretty much the entire summer in Miami just working and played summer league and then was right back in Miami getting ready for camp. So obviously, that's now more than a year ago. This season's been a long one, obviously, but we're excited to be here. Certainly not complacent in being here, but we want to continue to push the envelope, continue to compete.
How much is being in this bubble for so long? I think it's coming up to almost 100 days. How much of a mental toll has that taken on you in terms of fatigue and restlessness of wanting to be out and about, living your regular life? How much of an effect has that had on the team?
It's been a challenge, obviously, in pockets, but I really feel like this group has fully embraced it and understood that if you approach it with the right mindset, that it can be an advantage, and that all teams might not be able to do that. And we feel like we got a group of guys that are humble and over themselves enough to understand that it's not about the individual, but instead about how we can come together and compete.
No, I absolutely love the culture and the chemistry that you guys have got as a team. I just want to touch on yourself as an individual for a second, because, everyone saw the tweet that went viral last week from 3 years ago when you were thinking about having a career in sports media. And now obviously you're in the NBA. So I want to know, from being in that mind state of thinking you're going to go into a journalism route into transitioning into I'm actually going to go and play. What was there a day or an event that made you flip the switch in your mind and said, you know what, I'm actually going to go and do this? What was the changing factor in all of that?
Well, the plan was always to play. I've certainly learned throughout my career that, nothing's guaranteed and you shouldn't expect anything. So the journalism thing was more about just having a safety plan, I guess. Just wanted to set myself up and something that I might be interested outside of playing. So, but the goal was always to play, even if it wasn't the NBA. I wanted the opportunity to play professionally in some capacity. Fortunately, I've been able to make the most of some breaks and opportunities, and I've obviously found myself in a really good situation here in Miami, which I'm thankful for.
That's awesome, man. I think we have the same plan. Unfortunately, my three-point shot isn't quite as good as yours, so I've had to settle for the journalism route. But, I heard that you used to shoot 1,600 shots a week in high school from behind the arc. Is that something you still do now? How many shots do you take or make a day, just to keep yourself as that laser-sharp three-point shooter that we all know?
At this point, it changes day to day depending on, where we're at in the season or if I need rest or that. I've had stretches in my career where I did that sort of thing or had a shooting journal and recorded my makes. I don't think there's one right answer to how to do things. I think it's very much like an art. It's kind of fluid. I think the one consistent is that you just got to get repetitions, and there's got to be a lot of them. You got to have a form that's repeatable and easy to replicate, and then you just got to rep it out.
I think it's only right while I've got you here, if I ask you a question that tons of fans at home are dying to know. I need to get your opinion, Duncan, on Big Face Coffee compared to all the other coffee shops in the world. How do you compare that to the Starbucks and the other franchises that we have out there?
I don't drink Big Face coffee. I don't like coffee in general. So, and I'm also not paying, or $20 for some overpriced coffee. So I think it's overrated, but you can tell them I said that too.
All right, I most definitely will do, man. I wasn't expecting that answer, but I respect it because I think I'll be the exact same way. So you've got a lot of young guys on the team. You've got yourself, Bam, Tyler, Jimmy's obviously in the first year of his deal. Everyone talks a lot about this Miami Heat team before the season started was geared up to have cap space in 2021, but now they're seeing that the group of guys that you already have, are more than capable of getting to the NBA Finals and competing for that championship. When you look at this team, and you look at the future, are you guys expected to be back in the finals next year and the year after and the year after? And how much do you think adding another piece to this team could bring?
Yeah, first and foremost, we're in win now mode. We want to win this year. It's obviously we have our backs against the wall, but we're excited for this challenge. And then in terms of going forward, the way this league works is nothing's guaranteed. You never know who's going to come back or how it's going to shape out. So, we can do all the right things next year and not get back to this point. So, we're a competitive group. So right now we're just focused on this year. And then moving forward, we'll see where the chips fall. But, we feel like we prioritize the right things, play hard, play the right way, share the ball, and just are selfless in our approach.
Before I let you go, there's one question I have to ask. On our show, the Sky Sports Heat Check, the raging debate all year has been, throughout all the guests we've had on, is their all-time starting five. Can I get your all-time starting five from any player? You can include yourself if you want. I don't know how you feel about that, but an all-time starting five, please.
Okay, I'll do retired players only. I'll go Magic, Larry Bird, Kareem, Mike, and I'll do my namesake, Tim Duncan, just because But yeah, I mean, there's so many good players, but I like that five right there.
Okay, and then just one last one for you. Obviously, you're one of the best shooters in the league right now. Who, in your opinion, is the greatest three-point shooter of all time?
It's hard not to give it to Steph. He's completely transformed really the way the game is played. So I would probably say him. I think Ray Allen's right there in the conversation. I think even guys that are still doing it right now, JJ, Kyle Korver. Forgive me if I'm forgetting an obvious one. I'm blanking right now. Even like a guy like Steve Nash, I think, is up there. So there's a lot of guys, but it's hard not to say Clay. But it's hard not to say Steph.
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking the time to answer my questions, my man. I'm wishing you all of the best of luck for tomorrow's game. I'm sure you're going to go out there and get buckets. So I hope you guys have a great game. And, if you ever do want to pursue the journalism when you're done playing, you know where we are. So hit us up. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.